Hey, if you're thinking about buying a home in the West Genesee School District this spring, you really need to watch this video. Why? Because I'm going to tell you what the housing market is in the West Genesee School District. And if you think about it, the housing market in the West Genesee School District is different from the market in the rest of the county. It's different from the market in the rest of the state. When you get information on television or from the internet regarding the housing market, most of those reports are national. It has nothing to do with your community, and every community is its own little marketplace. So if you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home in the West Genesee School District, you want to know what's going on in the West Genesee School District because that's the market you're going to be dealing in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up the housing market figures for the West Genesee School District on one side of the screen, and I'm going to put the numbers for Onondaga County on the other side of the screen so you can see the difference. You can compare the two. And once you see the numbers for the West Genesee School District, at that point, if you're thinking about buying or selling, you'll have a better idea of how to go about buying or selling a home there. So let's start with new listings. Now, new listings for the month of February versus last February were down 25%, 15 new listings versus 20 new listings. And year to date, they were down 31.8%, 30 versus 44. So we're seeing fewer new listings in the West Genesee School District. That's not unusual for the county or for some of the other communities that we're talking about. But this is a little bit more of a drop than we've seen in some other areas. Pending sales, which are homes that have gone under contract within the last 30 to 90 days and are waiting to close, for the month was down 58.3%, 10 versus 24, and year to date down 53.1%, 23 versus 49. So, there's less new listings, which new listings are the fuel that drive the market, right? Because everybody wants the new listings. So it only makes sense that there's fewer pending listings, fewer homes that went under contract, because if there's less to buy, okay, then you're going to have fewer sales. So let's look at closed listings. Closed listings are obviously the homes that successfully sold in the month of February and year to date. So for the month of February, it was down 14.3%, which sounds like a lot, but it was 12 closed transactions versus 14. That's really not a whole heck of a lot. Year to date, up 37%, 37 closed sales versus 27 closed sales. So, we'll see if those trends continue, if it's going to be fewer closed sales or if it's going to be more closed sales moving forward. The new listings are going to be the key. If more homes come on the market, we're going to see more sales. Days on the market until sale is fairly important because that tells us how quickly are the new listings being sold. So for the month of February in the West Genesee School District, the days on market until sale was up 228.6%, 23 days versus 7 days. And year to date, up 214.3%, 22 days versus 7 days. So what does that tell us? It tells us that maybe some of the new listings that are coming on the market are higher priced homes and not really in the price range where most buyers are. Because right now, at least half of the buyers that are out there are in the $150,000 to $300,000 range because there's a lot of first-time home buyers out there. So it's not just the number of homes that are for sale out there, but it's where they're priced. Okay, that's going to make all the difference in the world. Now, the price range is what everybody's interested in. So we're going to look at the median sales and the average sale prices for the area. Now, the median sale price for the West Genesee School District for February was up 19.6%, $307,000 versus $256,750. And year to date, it's up 6.1%, $286,500 versus $270,000. So you can see that the homes that are still selling for a higher price than in the past. And that trend's probably going to continue, but as the time goes by, we'll see. The average sale price for West Genesee School District for the month of February was up 29.9%, $392,233 versus $301,950. And year to date, up 11.6%, $334,514 versus $299,685. Now you want to take a look at those numbers, both the median sale price and the average sale price, and see how they compare to the rest of the county. And that just gives you an indication why you really need to know what the market is in your community if that's where you're going to be buying or selling. Now, the percent of list price received, which is the ratio between the asking price and what the house actually sold for the month of February, was down 4.3% in the West Genesee School District, 104.1% versus 108.8%. And year to date, down 4%, 101.1% versus 105.3%. Now, what does that tell us? It tells us that homes are still selling for above full asking price, which means that they're still seeing multiple offers on the homes that have sold. Otherwise, why would somebody pay more than full asking price? So it's still a competitive market out there for buyers, and you buyers, you're going to have to plan for that, and you're going to have to strategize for that. I forgot to point out earlier that these numbers are for single-family homes only. We're not talking about townhomes or condos, okay? So now the inventory of homes for sale in the West Genesee School District were up 50%, 18 versus 12. It sounds like a lot, but it's not that much. There's only 18 homes for sale in the West Genesee School District right now, and that's not a whole heck of a lot. So the competition for the affordable homes that are affordable for most buyers, okay, is strong. The competition is strong. And that's evidenced by the next statistic, which is the month supply of inventory. Now, the month supply of inventory tells us how long would it take to sell out all of the active listings that are in the West Genesee School District under the current market conditions. The month supply of inventory was up 40% for the month, which sounds like a heck of a lot. But it's 0.7 months worth of inventory versus 0.5 months worth of inventory, which is really negligible. We're still looking at less than 1 month's worth of inventory. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I always tell you a balanced market is 4 to 6 months worth of inventory. A buyer's market is more than 6 months worth of inventory. And a seller's market is less than 4 months worth of inventory. And we're looking at less than 1 month's worth of inventory. So it's still a very strong seller's market in the West Genesee School District. So, once again, if you're buying or selling a home, you really need to have a strategy, have a plan on what you're going to do to be successful. If you're a buyer, how are you going to get that home? And if you're a seller, how are you going to get the most money and the best terms for the sale of your home? And what's the best way to do that? Hire an experienced agent. I've been helping people buy and sell homes in this area for over 26 years. I would love to sit down with you, talk about your goals, and see what we can do to make it happen. So feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. Other than that, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to hear from you.